First thing I remember about him is we got in a huge argument playing kickball. I just remember we were both so stubborn and just really wouldn't give up on it. I don't even remember what we were fighting about, but it was something that meant something to us. And for some reason, I went up behind him and like punched him in the back, and that's like the first thing the first interaction we ever had. Instantly became friends, sitting there in the office waiting for them to call us in. He started to teach me to ride BMX bikes, and that was something we used to do all the time. And he was always just like a role model to me in a lot of ways. I learned a lot about bravery from him, and just never being afraid, because Noah was never afraid to try anything when it came to things that other people might be afraid to do. And he was always the one that was never afraid to, go and ride off some huge jump that everyone else was afraid of, or, I remember one of our football coaches in 7th grade telling him that he was the hardest worker on the team, and I just think that that's a really true thing about him, is that when he put his mind to something, he was never going to give up on it. And that came to people too. He was someone that would never give up on you as a friend, and would always have your back in a situation if you needed it, as long as you had his, and he was just that kind of a person. He was one of the bravest people that I've ever met and will probably ever know. And once he figured out that he wanted to be a musician around high school, he picked it up like so fast, it was amazing. Like he just he seemed to just have a super huge drive to just learn, and he learned it so fast, and then in no time he was writing songs that were just touching all kinds of people. And I'm sure anybody that's heard his music can attest to that, because his music was truly something amazing. And a lot of times it even made me jealous, because I thought it was so good, that it was spark that he had that was really special. I hope everyone remembers him in the same great light that I remember him in, because he was one of the most special people that I've ever had the chance to know, and I'll always love him for it.
The first time I met Noah was in 6th grade. I had a crush on his girlfriend, and I told her that he had a crush on another girl. After this, instead of rightfully clobbering me, Noah went up to me and he said, "Hey, I think I should hate you, but I don't." And for those of you who are fortunate enough to get close with Noah, this was him in a nutshell. Of his many virtues, Noah was known for his selflessness and his huge heart that can make anyone feel like an absolute rock star. However, outside of his warm interior was a cold, hard smartass, which all of us appreciated just as much. As we pay our respects to our friend Noah, take a look around. What we see are people with different backgrounds, philosophies, ages, and walks of life. This speaks volumes of Noah's character, as he had an unmatched appreciation for human life and would take a bullet for anyone here today. Noah had an uncanny ability to make people feel important, and took pride in doing so, and not much else. I urge you to celebrate his life more than you mourn his death, for that is what he would have wanted. You're one of the most selfless people I've ever met. You possessed a heart of gold and an intricate mind. We love you and miss you. Rest in peace, brother.
I'd like to know the song for him. Just the way he would pay attention to me, like he's really focused when you talk to him, and like he always wants to know more. And I just remember we're sitting around a campfire and he was fucking wailing, and just like inspired me so much. And then to play for him and have him look at me the way he did, just really meant a lot to me.
Hello, Miss I.L. Under to spell. Hello, hello, Miss I.L. I'm gonna get spot.
Noah was, day one, really good friend to the point where I called him my brother. It's like, I like you. And ever since then, we just clicked and really got along. And then I was the third bassist. John was the second. I agree with everything that anyone has said so far. And again, thank you all for coming. We've lost a brother today.
Musical inspiration I ever had. The man was electric. There was nothing and no one that he didn't touch. He didn't immediately come alive. He was my best friend. I don't think I'll ever know anyone who can summon that much power. I already spoke, but I wanted to share a quick story about the last time I got to play music with Noah. And it was about a month ago, and we sat down to play music, and he didn't even want to play guitar. He just drummed for me and wanted to hear what I had been writing, and he just let me play.
Free. Come and gone, you're not leaving. Burn so bright you lit me.
I knew Noah through music. We played a show together. I think it was What the Heck Fest. It was probably like 8 or 9 years ago. And I just remember we're all like sitting around, anxious, setting up, checking out the other bands, and this guy comes in and he's got like this amp stack that's like as tall as him, and it's like he's getting his friends to help him pick it up onto the stage, and like we got our little tiny combo amps and stuff, and so it's just all this energy you could feel before, and then when he went up and played, it was just like
Definitely not one to do this, but I'm gonna try to. I just remember being like 14 years old, and I met Noah, and I was just learning how to play drums at that point. I've had the privilege of playing with him up until just a couple months ago, on and off throughout the last 5 or 6 years. And just coming up, starting to play drums, I just felt, you know, as a drummer, it's one of those things where it can be kind of like a metronome, and you can just kind of play and you'll just kind of, you're part of it. But Noah really made me feel when I played with him that he really cared, and he would say things that were so profound to me about our music and what he saw in my ability and what I saw in him. I felt like he's just really special to me.
He like walked in the house with, I'd more call it a saunter really than a walk. But yeah, he started playing music, and I play ukulele and I'm a singer, and I have an exceptionally loud singing voice. And I find it hard to find people to sing with, and his voice was just booming. I mean, he didn't need a microphone, and it just blended really well with mine. And I was just like, I want to play music with you so bad. But I didn't know how to play any of his songs, and I was like, do you know any covers? Because I know a lot of covers. And he was like, I don't play covers, I only play my own music. And I was just like, duh, like, why don't I only play my own music? And so like, I don't know, a little while down, well, that night actually, I went home and like wrote a song, just like boom. And not of him, but like because of him, like that inspiration like came with me home, and like I sat down and wrote a song. And then later on down the road, I threw out all my covers out of my journal. I ripped them all out and threw them away. And now I only play my own songs, and that's because of Noah. And I really wish I would have had more opportunities to play music with him, because he was, yeah, everything that everyone here has said about him. And I feel honored that I got to spend the time that I did with him. Thank you to his parents for creating him.
Hey, did you ever meet a good friend? No. Was a rascally motherfucker, should've known. He could whip your ass at Halo and I'd drink you just fine. Was a very special friend that could make you feel alright.
You know, Noah was one of those people where if you kind of got involved in the music scene, you always heard of him, you know, and you'd maybe see him on a corner downtown busking, but each performance, it was like he was playing for the better way, you know?
Mark, get locked in, oh, come down under the cloud. Sound of the rain helps you grow. The prison's in your mind. Behind your eye you hold key. Hold mine.
Whenever I saw Noah, I just kind of wanted to give him every opportunity, right? And I was trying to produce a theater company out of a metal venue, so I seen him downtown. I had known of this TCTV sort of charity event. I'm a little bit anxious. He gets up there and he's this meek-looking sort of Olympia street punk kid. Gets on like just the entire little recordable auditorium was brought to life with sound.
Can't crack my code, yeah, that'd be nice. Like reading a book, little story. The words that pages behind open eyes.
I've never met anyone who was more upbeat or more up to any challenge. He was a special person, and I'm glad that we're all here to remember him.
And something that Noah and I shared was that we were the older siblings. We both really love our younger siblings and have had times where we were the one who our siblings looked to. And that was a really special bond that Noah and I had. And I think that Noah was like a brother to most people that he was close with, and it was so easy to be Noah's best friend. Or, yeah, I don't think that I've ever had a friend who was a better friend in, like, the meaning of the word friend than Noah.
I'm a grateful recovering heroin addict. This is a song I wrote here. It's so right.
Non-stop. Didn't matter. When he was gone, it was like, I just remember like standing in my house and just like listening to how silent it was. Like, I can't believe it. I don't know. And I really wish it wasn't that way. I wish I had spent more time with him. I didn't know I was only going to get this short of time. There was a lot of things that he told me, like, that a lot of people don't know. And he was struggling really like badly with a lot of his like inner self and accepting himself. And he had the ability to be so selfless when he felt that way about himself. And that was amazing. He always kept that. And he made sure to tell me every single day that he loved me and that we had long-term plans and stuff that never happened. But it was pretty. He didn't want to go this like how he did. He wouldn't want to be. This is not what he wanted. And just want everyone to know that he wanted to live forever. He literally told me 2 weeks ago. He goes, "I'm gonna live forever." There was really rough times, and then there was time but always in between all that, there was just like this. Me and him had this constant. He had plans, he had things that he wanted, and he strived for every single day, and it was great. It was amazing to see that throughout all the chaos in his head. That's what he saw, and that was really cool. And I'll always admire that. Thanks for everyone coming out today. Really amazing to have all these people here. You would have liked that, As people say, like, so many different varieties of people. That guy definitely made his trips through Olympia, like, met so many different people, like, just did so many great things, and, it was awesome. There's a lot of stories that I'll always remember, and things that he told me that were very special to me, and he was the most important person that I think I'll ever know, and it was cool. And thanks for everyone being here, really. Thank you. Like, seriously.
Yeah, watching those faces as they fade. It's a shame, it's a shame, it's a shame, it's a damn shame. But most of all, yeah, it's a waste.
When you have a son like Noah, you kind of have to learn to pace yourself. He was a daredevil. He was wild. His brother is too, but it's a different level. And from he's always been banged up, and I had to sort of have this faith that he was. I knew when he was born that he was meant for me. But I couldn't keep him safe. I wasn't that kind of a mom, and he wasn't that kind of a son, and so I had to let him go and do what he wanted to do, and I just supported him and gave him a safe place to come and fall. And he had demons, but it is so great to hear all of you talking, because of course I see all of this, but I didn't know that so many other people did, and that really touches me. To mention the disease of addiction is an important thing here, and that's not a game, and that's why somebody who's beautiful and talented at 20 years old is gone. And he struggled with that, and he struggled with depression, and he struggled with a lot of things that some people that are really close to him might know. But I'm really glad that what your main memory is of a happy person, and that he made all of you happy, and because he certainly did me. So thank you all.
All right, Mom, listen.
Yeah, I'm listening.
Sit down. Okay. At the beginning, in my defenseless state, I was a forfeit warrior to keep me safe. And she nursed me and taught me to love. In all ways, I felt taken care of. Pure love, unconditional, tenacious. She crushed the threads that opposed us. And no fault to her own when I had found a struggle and I felt alone. But thank God for my mom to help me through. But she's got stories of survival and triumph, and there really isn't anything in her story that makes me want to give up. Now from being an infant to boyhood, I'm a man now and it feels good, but her love will always stand. Now oh to my mother who gave me the capacity for love and the ability for my heart. Mom, and then it's just like this letter, it's like, Mom, I believe like I'm more like you than basically any other person I'm related to, and I love you very much.
Hi, I'm Scott, and I'm Noah's stepdad, and hopefully I'll give you some perspective that I'm picking up even stronger. I mean, we've obviously been thinking about this for a week, and why a kid like Noah, who had immense talent and had an obvious ability to relate to people. What I'm going to go to is I think he did have a purpose, and namely he was a teacher. I'm an engineer. I write code for a living. Everything's logical and in a place. And the introduction of Noah and his mom and brother completely rocked my world. But it, obviously there's many religions and philosophies that say, well, a teacher will come when you're ready. And obviously I was, because I've basically had a spiritual awakening in terms of what the meaning of life is, and the purpose of struggle, and even the notion of family and relationships and love, and you need to be thinking about why you're here. But for you younger people, I think again, my feeling is that Noah had a plan for being here. I'm not, obviously can't say that he was ready to leave, but he has obviously taught many people the meaning of love and friendship, and he's brought people up with his immense talent. Hopefully those songs will, as some people already talked to, inspire people to go their own way and develop their careers and paths and passions and things like that. When we were putting together the website, the picture that's on the front, just for whatever reason, basically jumped out at me when I was going through the photos, and it just like his soul was shining through it, and it was an energy that unfortunately I didn't see that often. I mean, oftentimes I was the disciplinarian and getting after Noah for whatever the struggles we were going on, but it was the best thing obviously is when his mom is just ecstatic that Noah's home playing music in the house, and the house is ringing with music. And I mean, Noah, he had a raw energy of that manifested in his songs that I loved. I mean, and there's just a huge talent and spark that he had and could go to, and just we really thought that he would climb onto that and make something out of that would get him through, but for whatever reason it wasn't meant to be. So I think that's why I guess I want to end on is, look, obviously there's a lot of people that are hurting. We miss Noah. It's a huge loss, but at the same time, he was a beacon and he was a teacher. That again, I look to him as he's taught me more than my 20 years of frickin' school. It was a life education that was a crash course that I appreciate. I mean, I appreciate, in hindsight, that his life was very meaningful for a lot of people, including me. So thank you for coming, and let's honor Noah.
It's love, 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 love that creates the deepest of all the games. So please leave this place. Please leave this place.